Welcome back to Tailgate Talk, Season 2, Episode 10. In this episode, we are joined by Mike Rhodes, coach of the Eastside Spartans, and we have a couple of his players with us. So sit back and relax. It's going to be an exciting episode. So, boys, let's get it popping. Welcome back, Coach, to the show. Second time we've had you on. First time on this season, buddy. We're honored to have you back on the show with us.
Well, I sure do appreciate it. And again, thank you for what all y'all do for the teams around here and all these kids from Southwest Virginia. I know they all look forward to listening to the podcast and seeing all your posts and predictions. And, you know, it's a good thing to get these kids some pub out there. And we really appreciate all y'all do for the kids and the athletes of Southwest Virginia.
Well, while we got you on right now, before we get into the college, just let them know who they're going to hear from here in a little while. Who'd you bring on with you today?
We got sophomore Landry Carico, plays right guard and defensive tackle for us, and senior Reagan Woods, who is our right tackle and our defensive end.
All right. We'll get into an interview with these guys in a little bit. We're having to share a mic, folks, so be a little patient with us. You may hear a little mic noise and stuff, but and everything. So we're going to go through this college football recap. We'll be real quick about Michigan State 10 and Oregon 31. So it was 31-10 Oregon.
Sloppy game. Did you watch it?
I did not.
I think in the first quarter there was three or four red zone turnovers, 2 or 3 from Oregon and one from Michigan State. I don't know about Oregon, man. They need to dial it in.
Still, I mean, the score is kind of
should have been 50-10.
Yeah, but 31. I'll take 31-10.
Big, mean, green machine, Oregon Ducks, baby. Go Ducks.
You love them Ducks, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you watch any of this, Coach?
I didn't get to watch that one, but Oregon has to have the best uniforms in college football ever.
Man, they always do. I love them.
That Nike money's something else.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch them come out just to see what they're going to be wearing from week to week. UCLA, Penn State. Penn State 27, UCLA 11. Kind of scratch your head on that 11 points.
Yeah.
It's kind of an odd number.
Go Nitty Lions.
I think that one was no surprise to us. We all had Penn State in that one. Anybody watch this one? Got anything on it?
No, I didn't. Didn't get to catch any of it.
Texas A&M 41, Mizzou 10. Shocker. This week in college football was shocker weekend.
It was.
I think Kermit told us this was going to happen last week.
The Aggies, baby. Gotta go Texas.
They usually bite you, son. All right. Georgia 31, Auburn 13. This one right here, Georgia, after that Alabama game, came out looking like a lot of teams do, kind of flat, just couldn't get it going for a while. I thought, well, here we go. Auburn's going to get their big upset right here in Georgia, but Georgia in the end kind of squared it out and finished them off.
Yeah, Georgia's still Georgia.
I figured they'd come out with a little more pop in this after losing to Alabama and being disappointed. I figured they'd come out with some more fire than that. Closer ball game than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. I thought coming out they'd come out trying to prove a point and
swinging hard.
Yeah, but the better team did win at the end. But I thought Auburn gave them a little bit more run for the money than they were expecting.
Yeah, man.
Auburn's that team though, man. It's like every year they pull one, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ole Miss 27, South Carolina 3.
You still on that Lane train?
Woo! I was never on the Lane train.
He said the best thing he ever done was to make that exit out that door.
Yeah.
Absolutely no showing by South Carolina there.
I know why Kermit picked them, though. Why he picked South Carolina. Because there's a Beamer coaching down there.
You're probably right. Yeah.
That's the only reason he picked them.
Was Lane Kiffin's fun to watch.
He is.
His teams are fun to watch.
Yeah, That's what we said there the previous week. It said more about Kentucky's defense to hold his offense like that than it did about Lane Kiffin.
I tell you, Kentucky's not a bad football team.
Their defense, like we talked last week, is probably one of the best in the country, man.
They get after it.
I mean, they're.
I've never seen a Tennessee fan in my life to love Lane Kiffin like Grant does over here.
I don't say I love him.
Most Tennessee fans can't stand him for what he done there.
They hate that name.
Hey,
I wish he was at LSU.
over what's there, yeah.
I'm with you on that myself. Washington 27, Michigan 17.
Vegas had them favored for a reason, didn't they?
I thought it was crazy.
Vegas, I couldn't believe that when I saw the line. Vegas had Washington favored in this game.
I
was
thought
like,
it was crazy.
But then the Huskies.
Vegas don't lose.
No.
So you're saying always ride with the Vegas?
I mean, if you want to make money, you do.
I've lost a lot of money listening to them too.
Some of us might have lost some money on that game.
Did you?
Maybe. Just a little bit.
God.
Not bad.
20 spot.
Yeah, I ain't got enough to gamble big money.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do dollars. Miami, California. I know Miami came back on this when I fell asleep and I did not get this score. What was that? Like 30?
I want to say 39-38.
Something like that, yeah. Close enough.
Yeah, it was
25 points that Miami was down and came back, rallied back to win this game.
I think Kermit he told us this is going to be close, didn't you, Kermit?
I tell you, buddy, Miami, they've let a lot of teams try to get up on them there and hadn't to come back on. You know, Tech was up on them big time last week, and Miami come back on them and took it over, you know. But they was in Bear Country. Long trip. Pretty good ball game.
Yeah, I think that road trip right there alone probably had a lot to do with this game, don't you think?
Well,
I mean
the way these D1 teams fly and stuff, it's a little different. But you know, how do you play a conference game? I saw a post where the team equipment buses stopped at the Texas-Louisiana line, and they had already traveled 1,200 miles and weren't even halfway there. You know, I mean, this new alignment stuff is just unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, I think it's going to take a toll on even California when they have to come because the whole time zone change. And I know Miami, they actually got there, 2 to 3 days early.
Probably, to get adjusted.
To get adjusted to the time and everything. So I think that may had somewhat to do with that game. But I'm just going to say the ACC's doing everything they can to keep Miami there, Grant.
Just remember.
Do you?
Just remember.
Arkansas 19, Tennessee 14.
Anytime they play, it seems like it's something crazy. And anybody watched this game last night? I mean, you were talking about it on the way over today, Aaron. Nico, yeah, he's ultra talented quarterback. But in the Oklahoma game, sort of gave it off. Oklahoma just had a good game plan. Now it's the Arkansas game. You find that as a freshman, it's a little different playing on the road in the SEC than it is playing on the road in a high school game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think it affects him with some of his decision making and stuff. And give Tennessee's defense credit because it should have been a lot worse. I think Arkansas had the ball inside Tennessee's 15-yard line 3 times, came away with 3 points in the first half. So, but it's glad to be back in Knoxville this week.
Yep. Well, boys, we got to talk about this Alabama game and Vandy game. Do you still feel like Alabama's better than Georgia?
Hands down.
Yeah, I do.
You still feel that way, Coach?
Absolutely.
So what happened?
Just one of them days. I mean, you got to give it to that Coach Lee there. He's doing a phenomenal job, and they're all bought in, and they're doing it without the NIL money that the other SEC teams have, and he's found a way to get those kind of players in there. And y'all know in college football, sometimes you just have those stories. That quarterback, transfer from New Mexico State.
Love the kid. Love him.
The way he plays and the fire he plays with and emotion. Sometimes in college football, that can carry you in those type of games. And I think coming off of the hangover at Georgia and the kind of emotion they got out there up early, and I think that quarterback just fed off of that emotion and the rest of the team followed. And it was just one of those days for Bama. But I think if Bama and Georgia play 10 times, Bama probably beats them at least 8.
Well, Nick Saban's quote probably build a little fire around that too.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it was all like you said, Coach. It was one of those, you have those days in college football where it's just your day, and you could watch a couple of those. There was one of the interceptions that the ball just bounced perfect for Vandy, and I give them credit, man. They
outplayed Alabama in this game.
Yeah,
they just flat outplayed them in that game.
It ain't Vandy that we're all used to.
I love it because it makes Tech's loss not look so bad now, like we thought at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Vandy's playing some ball, man.
That's true. All right, we'll get on into the Week 8 picks. Now, if you guys want to pick here too, just we can scroll the mic around, or I'll even let you can share with me on this, and then you share with the coach. All right, up first we have Utah, Arizona State. We'll go around the table. We'll just keep a circle going. Kermit.
I'm gonna go with the Utes in this one. I believe they'll get Arizona State there.
I agree with Kermit. I'm going Utah.
I'm right there with him. I got Utah winning this one.
I'm also going to go with Utah.
Going with Utah.
Well, looks like we're going to have Utah all the way around the board here. Clemson, Wake Forest.
Get that. Mm-hmm. Going Clemson. Clemson Tigers, baby. How about them Tigers?
I go Clemson. They getting things right, and the ACC's not exactly a powerhouse this year.
There's only one Death Valley. I'm going with Wake Forest.
I'm going to go with Clemson.
I got Clemson.
Coach, should we make this? No, I ain't going to fall for it. I ain't fall for it. I'm taking the Tigers in this one, too.
It could be an upset.
South Carolina, Alabama.
Definitely ain't going with them Gamecocks this week. They let me down big time. I ain't going with them.
They let you down, and Alabama's coming off of a loss to Vandy.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be a Alabama player this week at practice.
An embarrassing loss, too.
Yeah. Roll Tide.
Well, I can't say what Grant just said, but I'll pick Bama.
I'm going to go Bama. They're mad.
I got Bama. After that embarrassing loss, they're going to come back.
There you go. I'm definitely taking Alabama in this one as well. While we're adjusting the microphone here, Stanford, Notre Dame.
I'm going to have to go with the Little Leprechauns. Let's go Notre Dame.
You know who I'm going with, and it ain't Notre Dame. Go Cardinal.
This one hurts me to say it too, but got to go with Notre Dame.
Coach, we'll never pick that team. Never.
Yeah, I'm going to go Notre Dame. I mean, Stanford losing to Tech. Tech's not that good. As a Tech fan, it just hurts to say, but it's the truth.
I got Notre Dame winning this one.
The Little Leprechauns. I got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. What do you call it? The Fighting Lou Holtz.
Yeah, the Fighting Lou Holtz. Give me a break.
Texas, Oklahoma.
Hook 'em horns, baby. Go Texas.
Yeah, this is usually a close game either way, but Texas is just they're Texas this year. Till they prove otherwise, I'm gonna stick with the Horns.
Favorite football player of all time is Earl Campbell. Got to go with his alma mater. Texas will take this one. And the Red River, what is it? The Red River rivalry?
They don't. You can't say shootout no more.
Okay. See, glad I fixed that.
I'm gonna go with Texas.
I got a close one because of Oklahoma's defense, but Texas's offense is very powerful this year, so I got to go with Texas.
Well, it's Texas's turn, son. I got Oklahoma. Louisville, Virginia.
Louisville.
Yeah, I'll go Louisville.
I know we live in Virginia, but I can't. I'm kind of like Grant with Notre Dame. I can't say Virginia, so it's Louisville.
Absolutely.
Louisville. Hate Virginia.
Louisville all the way.
Louisville. Penn State, USC.
Got to go Penn State and that defense, man. Go Nittany Lions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Penn State. USC. They got upset by Minnesota yesterday, so
Dropped one.
yeah. So I'm gonna go Penn State in this one too.
Where's this one at?
I think it's in L.A.
I was hoping a whiteout game. I'm still going Penn State, though.
Yeah, I got Penn State.
Penn State.
USC. Just to be different. Florida, Tennessee.
Man, we talked about Tennessee and that bye week, how it might bite them and stuff. I didn't think they were going to lose to. I didn't think they was going to lose to Arkansas the way they did, but I believe Tennessee takes a rebound. They come out and they put it on Florida.
Well, you might not know this, Aaron, but I've been invited this week to get down there with Peyton Manning and Pat McAfee and lead the band in Rocky Top as we stomp the Gators. I don't think it's going to be close. Don't think it's going to be close.
Throw me a score then.
Tennessee 57, Florida 13.
Whoa. I don't know. That's way out on that ledge, Grant.
Let's after this, me and you, I got some money.
I'm a huge Billy Napier fan. He used to coach for the Raging Cajuns down there and where I grew up. But something's going on down there. They don't quite have it. So as bad as I hate to, I'm going to have to go Tennessee.
I got Tennessee.
If this game was played in the swamp, I think it would go a different way because Nico can't play at other schools right now. But give me Tennessee.
Big Vols fan right here. I'm going to go Tennessee too, but I'm not sure about that point spread, Grant. What's that? What?
Florida can't score anyway.
What's Vegas showing?
I don't know yet. I ain't looked at the line, but I'm just saying Florida can't score anyway. Tennessee is due a get-right game. They've had two tough SEC opponents on the road. Get back home where Nico's comfortable. And we're throwing that ball deep to Brew.
Yeah, I mean it is a big difference in Knoxville with Tennessee. I mean, they get that crowd behind them, and stuff. But I don't know. I see Tennessee winning it by 30 points, 28 points, something like that.
I know Nico takes a big brunt of the situation, but they got to get that offensive line right. I think that's hurting more than Nico.
That's something else I noticed too, man. It took them a while in the Oklahoma game to get the run game going, and last night they never got the. I don't know if they're beat up front or what the deal is, but they couldn't pass protect either.
Nico and that passing game is gonna do better when the run is established first. They're going to play off of that because Nico's then going to be able to burn them with these play actions and stuff like that.
And too, I
with
think
that strong
something else.
arm.
They're with their receivers. They've got good receivers, but I don't think they have that guy that can consistently take the top off the defense. That sort of seems to be missing. It's been missing since Jalen Hyatt. Yeah. It's like they've been searching for that guy for the past couple of years too. But Squirrel White went out last night with probably a shoulder, so he's probably going to miss at least a couple of weeks. But I just think this is a get-right game. I think they line up and smack them in the mouth. And like I said, Florida can't score against our, so I don't think they're going to score against that Tennessee defense.
It's still Florida, Tennessee. That's the scariest one.
It was Florida, Tennessee whenever Peyton Manning was down there too, and Spurrier used to put 60 on them.
Nico ain't Peyton.
Peyton never beat him either.
All right, Ohio State, Oregon.
You know me, dog. I'm all about them Ducks. I'm gonna stick with Oregon.
Where's this game at?
It don't matter where it's at.
It's in Oregon. Yeah, give me Oregon simply because it's at Oregon and Ohio State hasn't played anybody yet. So I think that Oregon at home is going to be tough for the Buckeyes.
Ohio State is my least favorite college football team, so there's no way I can pick them. We're going with the Ducks.
Hey, go Ducks.
I'm going to have to go with the angry highlighters. Give me Oregon.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, simply just because it's in Oregon, I think that's my pick as well. All right, guys, that does it for.
Let me stop you real quick. I got a question for Coach. And see, because I'm an Ohio State hater too.
All right.
Do you not think that it seems like every time they have a big top 5 matchup up until this one, it's always at Ohio State?
It seems to be. It's always at the Horseshoe.
Yeah.
For some reason, every time they have one of these matchups, it's there, and they're always the most publicized, highest ranked, and they never come through. And I just think they're always overrated. And the Big Ten's not as good, obviously, as the SEC, and the ACC's right there with it. I know Michigan just won one, but I just think they're overrated as a program, and I just don't like all the publicity they get.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It seems like for the past 10, 12 years, every time Ohio State's got the big top 5 matchup, where's it at? Oh, it's in Columbus. How does this happen?
Every single time.
Okay, Aaron, let's head to.
All right, we'll get into the interview here. We're going to move into the high school part. So whichever one of you guys want to go first, we can get you set up, and we'll go into that. So,
Go Henry.
all right, we're going to start here. We got Reagan Wood on here with us. Reagan, having a big year, buddy, and everything. So welcome to the podcast today, buddy, and everything. So
It's great being here.
we're honored to have you, pal. Looks like we just got an official offer from the UVA at Wise.
Yes, sir. Big blessing. Kind of been working hard. Glad to see it paying off at least a little bit. So hopefully more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody got Nico? You got a question for him, dog?
I just think, man, y'all look tremendous up front this year, and y'all pushing people around, which y'all got some pretty good backs too, but y'all's line play that probably don't get a lot of talk, but, man, y'all do a good job up front.
Appreciate that.
Opening up holes for them backs.
Yeah, man.
Well, congratulations on the official offer.
Thank you, sir.
And I've been telling my nephew for a couple of years now, you're my hero. Because I watched, I think it was last year, I watched you completely keep 2 or 3 teams from even wanting, like, they just quit running to your side. And that's my hero. So glad to see the hard work paying off for you. And we'll get more into it here in a little bit. But congratulations.
Appreciate it.
So right tackle, defensive end, and everything, and shutting down the edge, So that's awesome. Are you getting any other offers right now or looks?
I've been talking to Ferrum, applied there. They said they were working on an offer. Randolph Macon also called me and talked to me, wants to get me down there for a visit, and Amory and Henry. I went down there for a game day, and got to apply there too. So
yeah. So what's your height right now?
my height,
Yeah.
6'3",
6'3". What? 250?
270.
270. There we go, Bulls.
Some big old bulls.
Got some size there.
Sorry.
Well, which one is your favorite position? You like the right tackle or the defensive end better?
I love defense. It's so much fun. I feel like I'm, I don't know. I just like hitting people. So defense, you kind of get to do
A
that a
little less
little more.
thinking too, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Get turned loose.
Just kind of find the ball. Sitting the edge is a little boring because you want to chase that ball, but BCR, bootleg counter reverse.
Well, people don't realize how important the edge defense is, and I mean,
I say it all along, man. If you got some great defensive ends, it takes a lot off your corners and your linebackers when you can contain stuff inside, and I think that's one of the biggest keys to defense is the end play.
well, do you have any heroes or anybody you look up to?
This might sound a little corny. It's not really a football guy. My dad is my hero. No matter what, no matter how bad things were. He tried to retire from the military 3 times. He kept his head up. We came out here. He's a pastor now. No matter what, he's just always kind of kept working. And I think I try to feed off that a little bit. Just I used to hate football. Freshman and sophomore year, it was like I would dread coming to practice. Then we started winning a little more games, and I got more playing time, and found a love for it. Just kept working, never quit. I just think I got that from my dad.
Yeah, definitely winning makes it easier and everything, but I mean, you're definitely putting in the work. You've got the stature. Good. Looks like you've been in the weight room pretty heavy. You like hitting the weights pretty hard?
I do. I think Coach Coffey's got us on a pretty good program. Saw some growth from that, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
Outside of football, what is one of your favorite things to do?
That's a good question. I like to sleep a lot.
Dreaming about football.
You got to rest. You got to set the edge.
I like going to church and stuff like that, helping people out. Certainly not schoolwork, but you got to stay focused on school. I don't know. It's probably sleep. I'm pretty tired most of the time, so I like to take a nap every now and again. A little power nap.
Yeah, man. I'm with him on that.
I usually sleep through school and catch up on mine.
Yeah. Well, y'all just came off of another big victory this past week, and anything you want to say about that game coming off this win?
I think it was a pretty good game. Came out a little bit slower than I think we expected, but I think we've done all overall. I think we've done better playing all 4 quarters this year. I just try not to get too tired, but I think we just go out there, give everything we got, and I think we're not a bad football team. So
yeah, man. I think last year we talked about it. Y'all was trying to find a way to finish games and finish teams off. Y'all was in a lot of games that it could have easily went the other way, but it definitely looks like y'all have matured and have learned how to put teams away this year and have played lights out defensively.
Wasn't this game 7-0 at halftime?
Yeah, we were up. So, I mean, it was a slow start for sure, but I think, our offensive line kind of got a different look than what we were expecting. Not really showing blitzes like we thought they would have. But, we kind of adjusted to that. Had to, change up pass pro a little bit, which is, I feel like I kind of struggled with that the week prior. But, I had to lock back in with that and, find out what to do. So,
yeah, it just tests like what Kermit was saying, though. 7-0 at halftime, and then the final score 34-0. That's finding a way to put somebody away, and
yes, sir.
That's a sign of maturity from last year. That was a struggle. I think we can all, none of you guys will shy away from that. That was a little bit of a struggle last year in some games. Is putting your foot on their throat when you had them down. If that offends anybody, sorry, but that's just football.
It's football,
but yeah, that's one of the big things I've noticed this year with y'all too is the maturity of putting people away and just keep pounding on people and basically pound them into submission. I mean, really, that's a little old school, Kermit. A little old school.
Yep.
Well, let's let everybody learn just a little bit more about you. What's your favorite food?
Ooh,
what you go to?
See, chicken Alfredo's definitely up there. That's a great meal. We actually had some great chicken Alfredo night before Friday's game, which honestly, I'd honestly put our success with how good that food was. They keep us well fed.
Like a lineman, baby.
Yeah, I mean, definitely very appreciative of that because we're lucky to have the coaching staff in the community that we have. I mean, I reflect on it. I think like I love this game, but I know plenty of people who are better than me at this game that hate it because of like the coaches and the support that they lack that we have. And I like to think about that pretty often. Kind of puts it in perspective. We have a lot of coaches that give us a shirt off their back. So if we really needed it, and I try to be appreciative of that. But definitely chicken Alfredo for sure. I like a good pizza every now and again, but if I could eat something for the rest of my life, it'd be chicken Alfredo for sure.
Well, where'd you go to for it? For the Alfredo, the go-to.
I like a good home cooked Alfredo.
My mom home cooked. Yeah.
My mom makes a pretty good one. My dad also makes a pretty good one, but can't be better than my mom's because she'll get mad. So, yeah, just at home, like coming home from practice. Mom's like, "Yeah, we got Alfredo." All right, bet.
All right, chicken Alfredo aside, go-to restaurant.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Fast food restaurant, I'm gonna go with Burger King, and this might get a little hate because I talk to people about it at school. They're like,
I'm with you, baby. I'm with you.
I hate Burger King. That Bacon King is one of the best sandwiches. I mean, it'll put me to sleep for the rest of the afternoon. I go home, I take a nap. I mean, it wears you out, but it's a good sandwich.
I love it.
He don't get one of those Friday nights, does he, Coach? Stay away from Burger King.
I love the I love the fish sandwich they got there. I ordered like this. I thought it was going to be like a crispy chicken sandwich. Come on, when they gave it to me, it was like the fish, and I was like, oh God. And I ate that thing, and I was like, shoot, man, I'm just going to start ordering that.
Yeah.
So I've been on that fish sandwich kick, but I like that BK, man.
But, I mean, sit-down restaurant, I don't really eat out a whole lot, but I'd probably say Applebee's because we've been getting Applebee's after the games, me and my friends. So, those wings, they always trying to make them cheap. I got like 10 wings for $8 the other night. So, right after a win, I mean, can't ask for
cheap
anything
wings,
better than that.
Boom.
Balling on a budget, baby.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
Used to go over Golden Crown. They'd have them wings on the buffet. They just started it, and it didn't last long. They figured out they was probably losing money putting wings on the buffet.
Yep. Well, big game coming up this week.
Sure.
It sounds like you're calling for some Alfredo pregame for this game as well, since it made you play so well. I hope you Coburn fans out there, people, or Eastside fans out there in Coburn are listening to this because our boy Reagan Woods is looking for some good Alfredo this weekend, pregame meal.
Sure. Well, the night before, I feel like it'd be a little heavy right before the game. I like our little Subway that we got, little 6-inch sandwich. Keeps pretty well fueled.
Thursday night chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
Just don't bring him anything to put him asleep, okay? Well, Reagan, if you don't care, buddy, we'll just slide the mic over to you,
Sure.
to your other guy here, and we're gonna give him a little time here on the microphone too. Kind of the same thing, buddy. Just if you don't mind, just introduce yourself to the people. And
Landry Carico, left guard, D tackle, sophomore.
big sophomore, young dude. What's your favorite position?
I'm an offensive guy. Defense is good, but I like offense. I like running people over.
Loves them pancake blocks.
That's good, yeah. Shoot, yeah, man. So, what's your take on last week's ball game?
We came out stale, but we pulled away in the second half like we have for many games now. It's going to take more than that this Friday, but I think we're prepared and ready, and we're going to come out there and play our best.
Awesome. You got who's your hero? Any player? Anything?
Larry Allen.
Oh,
All right, explain.
I just like the way he plays. He moves well, strong in the weight room, and I don't know very many offensive linemen who can chase down a running back. So
you kind of try to put your style of play after him?
Yeah, I like the way he lines up and the way his pass sets are. Just looks clean.
Man, I love this. They're sharp, coach. These guys are sharp. They're watching. They're paying attention to stuff, man. I guess it kind of makes your job a little easier, I guess.
There's just one question I wanted to ask about last week's game. Knowing that you and Norton is the only two single A's in the county. How heated is that rivalry? Because when I'm watching it sounded like the crowds is pretty loud in that game when y'all was playing.
It's always a heated game in every sport, and we had never beat them at home, so we got that win, and I think it's going to help fuel us for the rest of the season.
Sitting at 5-0, and I mean, like I said, that's first time in school history, right? You all been 5-0, and that's also got to be a good feeling for you guys as well.
Yeah, it feels great. Eastside's never done it, so it's good to be part of the first to do it.
Well, let's go to the food. What's your favorite?
I'm a sushi guy.
You and Grant's hooked up here. Grant over there, he's a big sushi guy.
all right, man.
Okay, who's your favorite? Where's your favorite to get it?
Stir Fry Cafe.
You ever had it from 620?
I have, but Stir Fry's my home.
Wasabi in Kingsport too. They got sleeper on the sushi.
My ex-wife.
And you get the hibachi, man. So you get like 3 pounds of food and some sushi. Win-win.
My ex-wife was a sushi chef at Stir Fry, and I would bring Grant and Justin stuff to work all the time because she got stuff all the time, brought it home, and I'd bring them their favorites. So if I knew that, I'd have probably tried to get it hooked up for you, buddy. Yeah.
Been a little rough for breakfast, wouldn't it?
I can eat sushi whenever.
Yeah, man. Kermit, Grant, hit him up with something, buddy.
You been getting any looks here? I know you're young, but you're a big old boy.
I've been to a game day visit. I try and keep my Twitter profile updated. I go to camps in the summer, and it's about where we're at right now with all I can do for being so young. So,
well, I'm just going to say this. I mean, we reached over 15,000, and so I'm saying if there's anybody out there that can help these boys out, please do so, because, I mean, these are some good-looking young men right here that I think, and you can tell by the way they're conducting themselves during this interview and everything, that they got their head on sharp, and I think they'd be able to make a difference. So let's help get them some more looks out there, guys. Y'all might even want to make a trip over to the Coburn, Virginia, and check out these boys at Eastside. All righty. Let's see, what else did we have here to ask him? Grant, you got anything else for him?
No, which I told him a little bit there before we started there. I've watched him since he was in Peanut, and I've always been highly impressed with his techniques, with his hands and footwork and stuff. Man, it's just I remember when he was 8, 9 years old, and I'd always be, man, that kid, his hands. I would tell his dad, like, he uses his hands better than a lot of college kids do, and that's the art of line. Get your hands on somebody and move your feet. So I mean, I just want to say I enjoy watching you, both of you, play, and of course I've been watching you a little bit longer. But yeah, it's nice to see that, man. You guys working hard and stuff, and it shows on the game film. But it don't just happen. People recognize that. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I've prided myself over my footwork and my hands for years, because you ain't got to be the biggest, but if you got the better technique, you're going to win the rep. So
tools, man. The tools in the toolbox usually is who gets the most work done and gets it done the quickest and the best. Having the proper tools. Kermit, you started to say something.
You got any favorite things you like to get out with your buddies on the weekend and do, or favorite hobbies?
Every Friday after wins, we stay at one house and we go fishing a lot. We like going to Chipotle. It's our favorite place to go normally. We go over to the Pinnacle and walk around in Bass Pro. We just hang out a lot. We're really close.
That's awesome.
My boy, he would stay on the creek bank if he could. He's always fishing.
Yeah, man. Well, we got a big game coming up this week, like we already spoke about. We feel like this is for the district championship, to be honest with you, and everything. What do you think about how you feel about this upcoming game with Rye Cove?
I think it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be decided by one play. Whoever makes less mistakes is going to win the game, and that's just how it is. And we got to make less mistakes than them, and we got to execute on the mistakes that they make.
Yep, they're a good football team too, and I guess it's awesome. Both teams rolling in undefeated and coming into this matchup and everything. What are you expecting crowd wise this week?
I think it's definitely going to be packed. I mean, all of Wise County, Dickinson County, Russell County, everybody's going to be there, and it's going to be loud.
Yeah. That's one thing Rye Cove's got. They got some rowdy fans too, and you guys do too. So you take both of them, put them together, and it's like, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? You like it noisy? You feed off that?
Yeah, I like it noisy. When we played when Bullitt Park, it was noise for the other team, but I still liked it. It's nice to play there.
Yeah.
Kermit's favorite place to play.
He said Kermit's favorite place to play.
At Bullitt Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love turning that field up for old Phil Robbins. We was down there, and I guess he didn't know if I was with that 96 bunch when we went down there one state, and I hear them talking to Jaws down there how Appalachia just come down there and destroyed our field, and I was standing there right with him. I said, that was the best year I ever had. He worried more about that field than anything.
Well, guys, we appreciate you all coming on with us. If you don't mind, we'll just pass it back over to Coach, and we're gonna talk a little bit about this upcoming matchup, Coach, and everything. You guys be on the road this week, right?
Yes, sir. Going to Duffield.
Going down to Duffield to face the Rye Cove War Eagles. Big matchup last year there in the playoffs. I mean, a lot of people probably didn't think y'all had a shot that you had there, but you guys went in there and made it exciting and had it. But now this coming week, it's for the district title and everything. And I think it's a clash that since that game last year, everybody's kind of seen coming.
I think so too, and I think we had kind of planned on trying to be 5-0 coming into this, and we had a good feeling with their schedule that they'd be 6-0, and I still think that not a lot of people are giving us a shot, but until you beat them, that's the way it is, and they've got a very good football team, like you said. The crowd's going to be raucous. I mean, it's always loud down there. Hope there's a whole lot of security, extra law enforcement, but it does get a little hectic. But that's the kind of environments as a 17-year-old you want to play in. I mean, that's
absolutely,
you want to play in games that mean something. And I think both teams have set it up to where this game does mean something. There's still a lot of football, obviously, after this game to decide district championships and things like that. But this is why you play high school football, for communities like these two, for kids on both sides to have a game like this and get to experience this type of atmosphere and a game that means so much. This is why you do everything in from January to June and July in the weight room and the working out and to get ready for these type of games. And I think the way both teams are playing right now, if you're not there early, you're not going to get a seat, and if you're not there, you're going to miss one heck of a ball game.
Yeah, man.
This game right here, it's two highly, highly great teams on both sides, and this game right here just kind of takes me back and reminds me of Gate City and Appalachia. It's going to be a hard-hitting game. Nobody's going to shy away from each other, And, man, these are the games you love to see, ain't it, Aaron?
Oh, yeah.
I just want to thank you, Coach, for bringing it on, because that one thing me and Aaron had talked about on the way over here that I was going to ask you about, and I'm glad you brought on two linemen. I feel like sometimes your line play gets overshadowed by people, because you do have, quite a few athletes, and I think that you'd probably the lines stack up pretty even. That's where this game's going to be won. I feel like whoever wins the line of scrimmage is going to probably control this game. Would you agree with that?
I think both teams are kind of built the same way. I think you look at the Lane kid; he's really athletic, and like you said, we've got several athletes with Kelton and Luke and Dayton and Gabe and Rocky. We have several athletes out there, but it's football. Football's one up front, and you can have everything in the world, and it's kind of an old school football technique for both teams. Everybody nowadays is spread and throw the ball all around, but both of these teams want to just pound you. And Landry touched on it earlier. I think the more physical, whoever has the best technique, makes the fewest mistakes, turns the ball over the least, is going to win it. And it's going to come down to offensive and defensive lines. And they're really good, and I don't want to take anything away from them. They got two their right guard and their right tackle, the Darnell kid. I think the Darnell kid's a stud, but I put our 5 up against anybody.
I had to absolutely agree 100% with what you just said, Coach. And for people out there that don't believe that, all they need to do is go look at two of the best quarterbacks in the state of Virginia last year, and they are struggling. You go look at Honaker and Tazewell, probably two of the best quarterbacks in the state of Virginia last year, and they've really had it rough this year, losing weapons and linemen, and you ain't got no line up front. That takes away everything that you're doing.
I agree, and you can ask these two guys. We preach that in practice. If we're going to win or lose, it's up to the 4 we got up front, the 5 or 6 we got up on the line of scrimmage. If they win their battles, we're going to win the ball game. If we don't do those things and we don't pick up the blitzes and we don't do our technique, or we shoot ourselves in the foot with some penalties, then we're not going to win the football game. And if they can play a clean game and execute and win up front, I think not just this game, but any game with the weapons we have, if we take care of business up front, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, this week's going to take a lot of discipline too, because you're going to have to read a lot of keys in this one and be where you need to be. Make sure you're lined up right, because with that Robbie Norris offense that he's brought over and that they're running down there right now, it's kind of tricky. You got a lot of misdirection stuff going on, and then the way they're doing it with Lane, he's getting out lead blocking too. So there's a lot to it. I'm excited about this game. It's I'm going to be there, Lord's willing. If I don't have to work, this is the one that I'm going to be at, man.
You better call in sick.
I may have to take vacation, to be honest, just to be able to do it.
I'm actually going over there when we leave here
tonight. Yeah,
you better get in line.
We're going to go set up camp. We might just have to get in on somehow get snuck in if we have to, and everything. Coach, tell us your thoughts on these two guys that you brought in today.
I can't say enough good things about them. Starting off the football field, y'all Reagan talked a little bit about his faith in his church and how he enjoys that so much and the way he's grown up. But he truly has a servant attitude. And, off the field, he's always doing the things that help the community and little things for helping our youth. And you watch him here in the locker room, and he's one of the last ones to leave because he's making sure everything's clean and everything's picked up and where it's supposed to go. And he truly defines that servant mentality, and he wants to do for others. But I tell you what, when he walks across those white lines, he's a totally different kid. He's an animal, and you can't coach that to flip that switch. And if you would have seen him in 8th grade, I would have never thought he would have been the player he is today. He played hard. He practiced hard. His effort's never been a thing with him or work ethic. But, he didn't have that aggression and that mean streak. And he's one of those kids I thought, well, he's just a really good kid. I don't know if he'll ever be aggressive. You know what I mean? Just he was almost too nice, if that makes any kind of sense. But he's developed that mean streak, and like you said, he takes the side of the field away in games, and that's huge for our defense. And he's a big reason why we hadn't been talked about a lot, but if you go back, our first team defense hasn't given up a point since Central. So that's 4 games, and they're playing lights out, and he's a big part of that. And same thing.
I noticed. Really, I hadn't even thought about that either.
Yeah, against Hurley, they got a touchdown late against our second team and third team, and then they got the fumble recovery for a touchdown. But our first team defense hasn't given up a point since Central, and Landry's the same way. Anytime I need volunteers for something, he's always there. He took a big role this year and was voted captain, and it's because of the things he does behind the scenes, not just on the field. Both of these kids are just true workout warriors. They're in the weight room. They never miss, and they lead by example. And I think today, in today's youth and the way it is there's a lot of guys that are talkers. And these guys do lead vocally too, don't get me wrong, but they do things the right way. And I told Grant earlier, I said, I'm truly blessed as a coach. We don't have discipline problems. We don't have grade issues. We don't have kids getting in trouble on social media. We act the right way, and that comes from the way they were raised. That comes from the way this community is kind of brought them up, and that's nothing that I've done as a coach. That's just how they came to us. And when you have that and you put that with good work ethic and a mentality to be a good football player, that's when you see the kind of success that these two are having and the other guys in our program. And so hats off to them for what they do. It's hard to run in the middle. You've got to double team somebody. And our front four, if you double team somebody, the other one usually can beat you. So, Landry inside usually gets those double teams, and he doesn't give up any kind of push or anything like that. At worst, it's a stalemate if he don't beat the double team, and that gives our other D tackles one-on-one opportunities. And, to be selfless and understand and be able to do your role, I think gets overlooked at offensive and defensive linemen. But both of these guys do their job. Like Reagan said, it's not fun setting the edge because you don't get to make a lot of plays. But by God, if you decide to throw it, he's coming after you. And I think we had 11 sacks against Chilhowie. We had 6 against Norton. And I think he had 5 or 6 of those. So, and Landry had 1 or 2, and the other guys 8 too. But, I just can't say enough good things about these 2 young men. And really all the kids in our program are basically cut the same way. And it's fun to be around.
That's awesome. Any others that you want to shout out while we got you on? Any of the other players that you want to give shout outs to?
I'd love to shout them all out. But offensive line wise, our center Noah Morgan, he's similar to Reagan coming in. I didn't think that he would have the aggression, and he's really transformed his body in the weight room. And at left guard we have. Our right guard, we have Tristan Fields, who's another sophomore, just like Landry, and he's playing lights out right now. And then we have Big Yasir at left tackle. He's 6'6", 270, and had never played football until last year. So he got his feet wet last year, and towards the end of the year was playing pretty good ball. And now the light's starting to really stay on for him out there, and he's punishing people. He's driving people 10, 15 yards, and same thing defensive line-wise. I mean, I got these 2. The freshman, Rocky Bond, plays some end. He comes off the end he's shot out of a cannon. He's hard for those big guys to block. And he's by them before they even know what came at him. And, I think it's just a good combination. And they touched on it earlier, but our team chemistry and how they all get along is special. Everybody knows about Keldon. I think Dayton had a breakout game last week, and he played well against Rye Cove. In the first game we played him, he had a couple of big runs. And, we have 4 running backs. You throw Luke Trent in there, and he's a weapon inside or outside. And then, again, Rocky, he had a big run last week against Norton, but it was called back due to a penalty. But he scored 3 touchdowns or 2 2-point conversions or something like that, some combination of it, against Central, and kind of kept us in it the first half. So, I'd say all 35 of our guys are just they're playing together, and it's selfless football, and that's all you can ask for.
You can't ask for no more than that. That's for sure.
No.
Well, Coach, you got anything for your fans and stuff heading into this week's big matchup?
No, like I said, I've told y'all every time we've spoke, this community is truly special, and they mentioned the food that they eat on Thursday nights from the local churches or local families. This community support and the way they get behind these young men is just unmatched, and I know they'll show up. I know they'll be loud. Rye Cove's going to be the same way, and it's going to be a packed house, and I know these boys are looking forward to it. I know our community is looking forward to it. And, what else can you ask for? It's 5-0 versus 6-0, potential for, something to happen in the district, big implications on the region, playoff standings. And this is going to be one heck of a ball game. And I've coached in some big games, at Union and in Northern Virginia where I've coached at before, but I don't know if I've coached in a bigger one than this one. And in a regular season, I know I haven't. So this is going to be truly special, and I hope all the kids enjoy it and the community gets behind them and supports them. And I can't wait for Friday.
It's definitely going to be big, man. We're excited about it, like I said, and everything. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get on into these pick'ems. And in high school, I guess we'll let you out on this one. That way you don't have to be biased or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't want to put them in trouble and get them on any bulletin boards for anybody we might play later on.
I've got one other question, Coach, if Aaron don't care.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I know the Wise game was a tremendously big win for y'all, just like the league game is a tremendously big win for Rye Cove. And but as y'all went into this Norton game, it could have easily been Norton had the ball inside the 5, and it could have easily went into halftime at 7-7. Was y'all overlooking Norton, looking towards Rye Cove, or did you have to give them some kind of pep talk? Because the way they come out and play that second half was just tremendous. How they just turned it on, just like flipping a light switch on.
You know, Central was a big game, but you know that's why we scrimmage Patrick Henry. That's why we scrimmage Union. We don't want teams that we play in our regular season to be the best team on the schedule that we played. And so when we go into the regular season games, we want to play that kind of competition. And everybody looks, well, Union beat y'all, I don't know what it was, 48-7, 48-something. But to me, that don't matter. That's my kids getting that kind of intensity in a football game and that kind of speed of a football game to where they're ready to see that kind of stuff. And you know, my coaches always get on to us about our scheduling, but I'd rather schedule hard so that they're prepared for the regular season games than not, you know. But to answer your question, I walked into the locker room at 7-0, and they were talking in there, and they were talking, and I heard one, and it might have been Reagan, I think, as I look back on it, but it was loud, and they were kind of going, we're better than this, and you know, just normal 16-year-old stuff. And somebody was saying, calm down, what's this accomplished? We just need to rally together. And I went in there and I did say my little spiel, but these kids know what's at stake. They know what they're capable of. I think it wasn't so much that they came out flat or were overlooking Norton. If you look, I think offensively we had our way, but when you have a couple penalties here and there and we kept shooting ourselves in the foot, that pushed us back. And, you know, we're neither one of these two teams that are playing this week are capable of 1st and 25 or 2nd and 20. You know, we're not built that way. And when you put yourselves back in a hole like that, it kind of puts you in a bind. And like Reagan said, they did give us a different look, but, you know, we were able to adjust to it and come out after halftime, and I think they answered the bell. I think, you know.
The reason I asked that, because I just, one of the best halftime speeches I ever got in a ball game was we went into halftime down. Tom Turner walks in the locker room, walked straight upstairs, never said a word. Everybody just starts looking at each other like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Well, all the way through half, he stayed upstairs. After half, he come back down, just looked at us and walks right back out the door and never spoke a word. And that was probably the best halftime speech we ever had.
He said a lot without saying anything, didn't he?
I just wonder if there's a speech or anything like that to get them boys fired up.
They can probably tell you better than me, but I don't recall going in there and doing anything crazy. I kind of told them if we stop shooting ourselves in the foot and just be us, then we're going to be just fine. And, you know, again, that goes back to the leadership, to where when I walked in, I heard they were getting things settled and they were working on things, and other than making adjustments, I mean, we're like y'all talk, we've matured a lot, and we knew what was at stake, and they came out and answered the bell.
That makes your job pretty easy, don't it?
And when you have leaders like we have, it does. You know, there's been times in the years past where I've had to be the motivator, and don't get me wrong, now I still chew on them, and I still try to get them as hype as can be, and things like that. But the maturity of this team and the cohesiveness of it, it makes my job pretty easy.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll go ahead and get into these high school picks. Last week, Grant went 12-0. Yours truly was 11-1, and Kermit was 10-2 last week. You know, yours truly's crystal ball kind of messed him up there on that Lehigh game a little bit, but I don't know, it must have been something in the ball. But I got the crystal ball. I shook it up. I fixed any crack in it. So
that was the problem.
We're going to be on it this week. So
that was the problem, Aaron. You had a crystal ball, and you've been using that magic 8 ball.
Well, I had been using the magic 8 ball, but the crystal ball I just felt was the one I should pull out. So I have them both with me today. So therefore, you know, yours truly, the prognosticator here, is going to be on this week?
Take it to the bank, baby.
All right, up first we have the Weiss Central and the John Battle.
Man, probably gonna be a good ball game right here, But I'm gonna go with them good guys up there. Them good guys from Wise, man. They're gonna pull one out right here.
Trojans.
Ooh,
This is a big game for us. We need Wise Central, and I think the Hayes kid is going to be one of the best athletes on the field, and I think that's the difference.
Well, a boiled egg is hard to beat. Wise 24, Battle 14. Abbott and Marion.
That's pretty simple. Falcons.
I don't know. Marion's giving Graham a ball game there for a little while last week, but
Then they kicked it.
yeah.
It was 21-14 and a half.
21-14.
That's crazy.
Marion was giving them a ball game, and but I'm gonna go with Abingdon on this and go Falcons.
Abingdon.
Got them picked.
The Falcons will use the hurricane strong hot wind to soar to victory. Falcons 42, Marion 14. Lehigh, John Burton.
I'm gonna go Lehigh in this, and they just got some really good skilled guys outside, and if they can block long enough, we've seen what Pendergraft can do. I go Lehigh in this one.
Yeah, I agree with Kermit. I think Lehigh just a little bit too much for Burton.
It's a tough one. I think Lehigh does have some weapons outside, but that Welch kid, he's an X factor, and he can break some. I think this one's a toss-up. I think, Lehigh may have one or two more weapons, but, between the Colley kid, the Tate kid, and the Welch kid, they've got a few too, so I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go Lehigh.
Getting chased by a bunch of angry generals is no fun, as the Raiders will soon find out. Lehigh 35, Burton 14. Thomas Walker, Hurley.
Thomas Walker. That's all it needs to be said.
This game's in Hurley.
It is.
Thomas Walker left Friday night after their game. When they got back, they washed uniforms and just got straight on the bus. They're going to be driving for a week, but give me the Pioneers.
The Fighting Tanner Halls.
Tommy and Walker are just glad it's football season. 32, Thomas Walker, Hurley 24. Twin Springs, Castlewood.
Castlewood let me down last week. I'm gonna go Keith.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Twin Springs in this one too. They're starting to. They might have figured things out there with the injuries and stuff they've got. I think they're just a little bit better than Castlewood right now.
This is a tough one with all the injuries. Coach Chisholm hasn't played well at Castlewood for what he's got, but those kids play awfully hard for Warner. Even you saw that against Union, even down and depleted with injuries, they still played hard, and I think that's going to be the difference. I'll go Twin Springs.
Close only counts in slow dancing, horseshoe pitching, and hand grenade tossing. Twin Springs 22, Castlewood 20. Virginia High Tassel.
I'm Grundy give him a heck of a ball game, and I thought Grundy really should pull that one out, but I'm gonna go Virginia High. Way too much talent, too much speed.
Yeah, I'm going Virginia High in this one. They got a lot of burners, and Tazewell seems to be struggling a little bit.
I think their big guy's coming back this week too.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Yeah, give me Bearcats.
I'm a big Coach Patterson fan. I'm going to go with Virginia High.
Well, the Bully Dogs speed kills to start with. So the Bully Dogs will be looking at the backs of those Virginia High uniforms most of the night. I got the Bearcats 35, the Bully Dogs 21. Grundy, Twin Valley.
Grundy, big.
Yeah, we've been talking about Grundy for a couple of weeks, and we were talking with Coach before we came on about Grundy, and they seem to be rolling. So Grundy big.
Everybody looks at Grundy's lost a few games, but they don't look at who they've lost them to. Grundy's a really good football team, so I'm going Grundy.
When the Golden Wave crashes in, Twin Valley will be looking forward to basketball. Grundy 60, Twin Valley 0. Patrick Henry, Holston.
Patrick Henry, big.
Yeah, I'm going to go Patrick Henry in this one, too. I think that line play, physical play, just takes over pretty quickly in this one.
I think Patrick Henry's dealing with some injuries as well, but I agree with Grant. They're one of the most physical teams in the region, and I think the numbers-wise at Holston, that they may wear them down over 4 quarters, so I'm going Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry will run right through the Cavaliers. Patrick Henry, 45, Holston, 21. Chilhowie, Lebanon.
Give me Lebanian.
Yeah, I'll take the Lebanians, too.
Yeah, we're all Lebanian over here on the couch.
Well, you got to think, in this game, too, guys, Lebanon's going to be playing 2 games within 3 days.
It don't matter.
You want me to change it to Lebanon or keep it at Lebanian? Because the pick's the same either way.
I got you.
The Reese kid's special, and he can throw it around, and he's got some weapons. But we need Chilhowie to win this one, so I'm going Chilhowie.
Well, a fire warning to the Warriors. Pioneers, our attack is on its way to put on a show. Lebanon 42, Chilhowie 13. Let's skip this next one. We'll go to Ridgeview. The Union Bears, another big game. It's coming up this week. We got 2 big games this week, boys. Union Ridgeview.
Well, I'm going to get a lot of haters this week. But, as far as what I've watched, Ridgeview has looked a lot cleaner, crispier on offense. Their defense has played pretty daggone good. And they did play a pretty good team in Virginia High and shut them out pretty much. And this is at the Wolf Pack, so I'm going to go Wolf Pack.
The great prophet Ric Flair once said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Union's been the man for a few years. This ain't the year that Ridgeview beats the man. Give me the Bears.
I can't go against Union.
Well, the Bears bubble is going to burst on the mountain. It will be a long ride back home on that old school bus. Ridgeview 42, Union 35. And the big game of the week. This is for the championship, I really feel like, in the Cumberland District. We have the Rye Cove War Eagles taking on the Eastside Spartans. Go, dog, go.
This game right here, it's bigger than what it really is. This feels so much like a playoff game. It feels so much like which one of these teams is going to go the distance, and I think this game's going to come down to maybe a 2-point conversion. I really do. These is 2 really great programs, and I believe if Rye Cove's going to do it, they're going to have to do it this year. I'm going to go War Eagles.
That same prophet that said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. You can, in a way, you can apply it to this game because for the past 2 or 3 years, Rye Cove's been the man. But I think this year there's a new man in town.
Woo!
Go Sparty.
Coach, you want to pick or?
I think everybody knows my pick. Show up, be early, be loud. It's going to be one heck of a ball game.
All right. Well, the Eagles' offense is powered by V8 engine. The Spartans won't be able to find that lucky charm. No chicken Alfredo for them this week, boys. Rye Cove 45, Eastside 31.
What?
All right, guys, we do appreciate y'all coming on, being with us again. Thank you all so much. Enjoyed having the interview with you and everything. Anybody else got anything for them?
I tell you, just looking at these young men, I'm telling you, they may be 270, but they look like they can flat move, son. And playing both ways, you got to be in shape, and they definitely look it.
Great.
I'm good.
All hearts and minds clear.
Yes, sir. Go Spartans.
We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.